Okay, here we are with the mesh inner tent set up. Here's our hero. You can see how light it is, man. You can pick this thing up and move it around and get it placed absolutely perfectly. So when you get it where you want it, there you go. We're on the ground. This thing is awesome. Okay, so here we are at one end. You can see how the poles look like they're bowed. That's okay. They all go into two Y connectors, one at each end. And you know, they just go into little holes in the feet below, but you can see the little claw retainers that they have, and really positive. They're easily worked with one hand. Here's the little feet that I was telling you about. There's just a little hole. That's probably a titanium foot, and the pole just plugs into the hole. This thing almost sets itself up. It's got tie outs all over the place. So this thing is really, really nifty. Here's the stakes. They give you 10 stakes with nice paracord poles on the end of them. You know, they're pretty good three-sided stakes, about 6 inches long, but they'll do the trick. So here we go, and you can see they have one middle pole, and how it slopes. That's a pre-bent pole. That's not tension bowing that, and it plugs into a nice keeper on each side of the tent, and really keeps the top spread apart. Gives you great headroom in the tent. Okay, so here is the business end of it. Man, look at all that netting. It's got 2 doors, one on each side, and each door has 2 really nice zippers. Really nice and easy to work. So you can open this door, and it's got keepers, so all you have to do is just roll up the door, put it in that keeper, and you got a wide open mesh inner tent. You know, easy to get sleeping pads in or out, your stuff in or out. I can tell you that these aren't going to be open for me very much because of the bugs, but you have the same exact thing on the other side, and it works really nifty. Okay, so before I put the top on, let's talk about the bottom. You can see it's got a full bathtub floor, very nice, and it feels like it's some kind of rubberized material. It doesn't feel that thick, but I don't know what kind of material it is. It might be puncture resistant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a tent underlayment when I set this up and camp in it this fall. I got a nice Gear Top XL tent underlayment, should fit perfectly, and that's just going to give me a double layer of protection. But this is a really nice floor, and it's a nice roomy tent. So let's put the rainfly on. Okay, so the rainfly has these nice little tabs at each end that go into that middle pole, and it really keeps the rainfly stretched across the top middle pole. Oh, this thing is great. The rainfly is really easy to put on. It only goes one way. Once you get it attached to the middle, it basically falls into place. So really easy. Okay, here we are with the whole thing staked out and the rainfly on. Oh man, this thing is looking nice. Gives you a lot of room. On the end, it's got 2 tie out points on the end. I didn't stake those out, but you can stake those out, and it's just going to pull the side out a little bit more. It's also got these little bars under the vents, and what you do is you just peel these off, and they they Velcro right back there, and they give you some vent space. But here we go. Now you can use either side as an exit or an entrance, and you can leave the top on, and you can pull up the flaps on both sides, and you can have it covered in case it rains, but you can still have it open. I got the vent open on this side also. It's got the little triangular vestibule things to go under there. I couldn't really figure out how to work them yet, but I'm still gonna have to play around with those. But here we go, the Atepa 1. It's like 110 degrees out here. I'm about to get a heat stroke, but let's go up and talk about what we learned today and learn what I like and what I don't like about this tent. All right, you guys, I ain't kidding. When I was back there setting that tent up in the shade, it says 103, and that's when a cloud came over. It was 105 back there. But that being said, thanks again to the people at King Camp for sending me out the Atepa Voyage 1. It's got some really, really interesting possibilities for me, and I wanted to discuss them with you. First of all, let's go over what I liked. Virtually everything. I like virtually everything about the tent. I like the poles. It doesn't have separate poles. It's got like one mono pole, and when you take it out, it kind of just all goes together, and it's really, really easy to set up. It's got those little titanium feet. You just plug the poles in, snap the little snaps on the screen mesh interior tent. And what I liked about it is also the little plastic snap things that went around the aluminum poles. And these are the nice aluminum poles, not the cheap aluminum poles that you get on like Walmart tents, okay? The hooks that go around the pole, one went this way, the next one went that way. That's just attention to detail. I really, really like that. The center pole, it looks like it's bent, but it's pre-bent like that. And what that does is that holds the center of the tent out and really, really makes a ton of headspace. I really liked it. I mean, I liked the interior mesh tent. I liked the outer rain fly, and it's got the little vents that you can pop out for some more ventilation. And what I think that's going to help me do is, I was always taking either like a mesh tent plus a 10 by 10 tarp, you know, and then I'd have two things. Now this is going to allow me to have a mesh tent, which is, you saw how light it was, you can pick it right up. It's going to allow me to have a mesh tent, and I'm not going to have to carry the tarp because the rain fly is the tarp. So, and it's all in one bundle. So I'm going to try that out this fall and see how it works. Now let's go to the things I didn't like. I thought that the bottom of the tent was it felt a little thin, you know, but it's got the full bathtub floor. You know, nothing's going to get in there, no creepy crawlies or no bugs or anything else. It felt a little thin, so I got a nice Gear Top XL tent underlayment that when I set it up, I'm just going to put the Gear Top on it, put this right on top of it, and nothing's going to happen to that thing. On the ends of the tent where you have the two tie outs, and there's a little flap that's down at the bottom. I wish that Atepa would put a little loop of some kind so that you could draw that side out, because if it's raining, you know, it might flap in there a little bit, and you could get it wet if you had one little loop. You could pull it out with a stake, you know, and a little bit of paracord. There's no way any water would get in there. But other than those two really, really nitpicky small things, this is a great tent. Once again, it's put out by King Camp under the name of Atepa Voyage 1. So I don't think you can go wrong. You're going to be seeing this in some other videos out at the Oak Camp this fall. My shoulder rehab is going slow, but hey, it's too hot to go outside anyway. So there is a look at what I liked and what I didn't like about the Atepa Voyage 1. I like virtually everything. I only have a criticism on a couple of small items. So if you like this video and you want to see more like it, please drop down and hit the subscribe button. Also, don't forget to leave me a big thumbs up on this video, and leave me a comment down below and tell me what you think of the Atepa Voyage 1. If you have one, how you like it, what do you think of my criticisms, or what tent do you like better? Whew. Once again, with my review of the Atepa Voyage 1 tent, this is Matt the Old Florida Boy saying I will see you from the 110-degree trail.